Hey, it's me again. Um, if I'm making two videos in one day, it's because I am inspired, I guess. Yeah. So right now, at this moment, my focus is priorities. That's what this one is about. Um, yes. And you might have noticed my video has no certain flow. It's just random touch here, touch there, touch there, hoping to say something that will that someone will be like, oh my word, that is actually true, or that matters. Okay, so yeah. Oh, and it has been a while since I've done a rant, so I think it's time I do a rant again sometime. Okay, but anyway, back to my focus. Priorities. Yeah, excuse me. Priorities. Um it's important in life. Really, really important. Um in my line of work, the my daily job, my day job, 8 to 5, is accounts. I do accounts, and if I can prioritize, then my day is dear makar. Um, you might be like, but how do you prioritize at work? Thing is, there's things at work that because there are a lot of things you need to do. For example, we have different suppliers with different different suppliers. We have different aspects of our jobs. For example, my job also includes filing, like my documents, like my financial documents. I have to file for proof of this was paid when blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna bother you with that specific in details. So yeah, and if I can't prioritize, my day will be dear makar. When I come in the morning, I'll just be like, okay, for today, these three suppliers are my main concern. I lay them down on a piece of paper, right? Okay, and I'm gonna work, spend at least 2 hours of the day. You think it might sound like a lot, but it's not actually. 2 hours a day on each of them. That's 6 hours, and it's an 8-hour day, excluding lunch, of course. Because I'm not gonna work through lunch. Lunch is also important. It's on my top priority together with coffee. Yeah. Okay. So if I get my priorities mixed up and say, for example, I think right now doing filing would be more important than sorting out this urgent query of the supplier, then my day is going to be dear makar. Because that person's going to call me, let's say, at 10. I know that person's going to call me at 10. But I come in at 8 and I'm just like, oh my word, I need to do filing. And then I do filing. And then at 10 when when the person called, I have no answers for them. And it makes things dear makar if you don't have answers for people. They get and they start using such big words, and I'm just like, oh my word, where did you get your subject, predicate, and verb? I've never even heard of that word. But anyway, yeah. Hey, I just have a rant on rude customers. But anyway, so yeah, so yeah, and then my day will be dear makar, because then I haven't achieved my goals to sort out that supplier, and sometimes it might take more time. And one thing, we always allow ourselves to get distracted by things and people. In my video that I made earlier today, I said that I'm a loudmouth at work. Also the other one. But anyway, yeah, and sometimes I disrupt people. So and I know how annoying I can be. Because trust me, Prama my colleagues, they get mad at me. So mad that they were just like, yeah, like usually when I'm on leave, they're just like, "Ooh, we miss you," and I come back, couldn't you stay where you were? Because I am annoying, or I annoy people sometimes. Yeah, but back to yeah, um, and you see, and where was I? See, another thing. of priorities which actually just sprung in my mind right now. For example, this video is going to be probably like 6-7 minutes long because I didn't prioritize. I threw in other things into the mix, not focusing on what was my bottom line. I wanted to touch everywhere in one video, which is actually impossible. So yeah, back to priorities. And if I don't prioritize during the day, if my phone rings, the work phone, and it's a supplier that isn't that urgent, me deciding to be like, okay, I'm shifting this piece of work aside, which is actually the person wants answers before lunch, and it's already 10, and you already asked for extension till lunch at least. Excuse me. Yeah, so then again, I'm shifting what is important, what my priority should be. I shift aside to focus on something which isn't as important. And that is just a small example of how. And then at lunchtime, when the supplier calls, I still don't have answers for them. They reach the point where they're mad because it has been a while now and they want answers. We can't actually blame them. And they phone the boss, like, away, bruh, follow up on your employees. I've been waiting for months now, not getting back to me. I always have to call back, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm very unsatisfied. Wow, big words, burn, boom, off. And then your boss comes out because he was busy with something which is important, and then your lack of prioritizing disrupted him from his priorities. He comes, shouts at you, not really shouts, reprimands you, you get pissed, and maybe you just had a lot of stress today, and you get pissed and just like, "Nee, meneer, maar werk," which is basically what an employee and an employer sounds like when they argue. And then it's just like, "You're rude, bah, warning," and that's on your record. You can, and maybe it has happened before, and now it feels like a final warning is necessary. So now you lose your job, or you're in the red or on thin ice, all because you fail to prioritize. See why prioritizing is important? Because if you don't prioritize, you might lose your job. You won't have time for the things that is important because you think like blah blah blah, it's not important. And thirdly, you have a long ass video which is gonna take forever to load and post and everything. Dot 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 dot. Yeah. Okay, so basically that was my pep talk. I think I'm gonna call them pep talks on priorities. So yeah. So if you have anything to add or something I say that you disagree with, feel free to comment down below, like, subscribe, like I said earlier today. Yeah, and thank you for listening.